Hello to all you amazing, wonderful people out there. Happy Monday. I hope you're all doing well. Um, it's been, I didn't, it's hard for me to even know. Oops, let me turn my sound off of my computer for Instagram. Um, it's hard to even know that it was Monday. It's been such a weird day. And um, a lot's been going on, um, as usual. But let's see who's here with us today. I see Marianne is here. Andrea is here. Says happy Monday. Happy Monday to you as well. Thank you for joining us. Cheryl is here. Just got in from a 2-mile walk. Nice. Get that exercise out there, right? Suzanne is here. Says hello, William, Andrew, Fur Babies, and the AG Bead fam. Yes, hello, AG Bead fam out there. Thank you for joining in. Danette is here with us. Hello, Danette. Teresa is here. Marianne. I already said Marianne is here. Hello again, Marianne. So it's been a crazy weekend, end of last week, beginning of this week. If you didn't see or hear, we were working on our car Appa, our car which we named Appa. Last week, I went over to my mom's house with my dad, and we worked in her garage over 3 days, working on replacing control arms, sway bar links, rotors, brakes, lots of stuff, lots of things happening. And we hit a few, snags along the way. But I'm writing about all of that in my William Tries Things posts on my William Tries Things page, and also sharing it in my The Triers group on Facebook. So if you want to see what we've been up to and all that it took to get our car back to where we think it needs to be. I still have to call the inspection station. Time ran out today before I realized I didn't do that. I got to set myself a reminder for that for tomorrow. Yeah, if you want to see what's going on, that was a long process. It took 3 days. I've posted day 1 and day 2 kind of blow by blow write-ups on that. So if you'd like to see how that's going, please visit my William Tries Things page on Facebook. I would post more on Instagram, but Instagram limits how long a caption can be, and my posts are always longer than they need to be. And I guess I can start writing in the comments, but I just haven't gotten that all worked out yet. So I'm mostly on Facebook right now because those posts can be super long, and these ones are. So that is going on, or had gone on this weekend, and we finished that up on Saturday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Saturday night, we finished that up. So last night, I got a little break because we were spending mostly, I got up for work, went into work. As soon as work was over, I'd run over to my dad's to pick him up, take him over to my mom's. We work on the car until about midnight or so, and then we'd drive home. So that was quite the experience, and it ended up kind of easier, better than we thought in some cases, but harder in others. So, but I think we saved probably a lot of money doing it this way. I'm thinking the one thing I didn't put in my post is our inspection people were going to call us to let us know what an estimate would be to have all these repairs done. And they never got back to us. And either they got really busy, which is very possible, or it may be something that they were not looking forward to doing. Because they do car repairs, but they mostly work with tires. They are mostly a tire place, and they work with that kind of thing more than anything. So I'm not sure that they really wanted to do that. And I can't blame them for that, not one bit, after seeing what all was involved. And it was a lot. I would not want to be doing that work on someone else's car. I will say that. At least it was ours. If something got messed up, that's ours to deal with, you know. But if you were doing this work for other people, I don't know how people do it. I don't know how people do it. Danette says, I enjoy reading the William Tries things about the car. Glad it's fixed. Yes, we're all good. Good to go. Norma says, my phone's YouTube app is coming up blank screen, so I'm watching YouTube on my TV and Facebook on my phone so I can comment. Nice. You might need to force quit the app. I don't know if you have an iPhone or an Android, but I know an iPhone that you just swipe the app up all the way and get rid of it and then restart it, and it usually works if that happens. But if you have an Android, I don't know. I don't know how that works. Michelle says, we were having a truck issue when we got hit. Our 30-year-old truck has a bull bar, brush bar, whatever you call it, that we cannot find a replacement for. Yeah. Our car is a Suzuki, and it is a 2011. And in 2012 or 2013, somewhere in there, Suzuki decided to not sell cars in the US anymore. So that's one of those things that we can still get most major parts, like the brakes, the rotors, the control arms themselves, the sway bar links. They were not difficult to get at a relatively good price. But the little things like the nuts and bolts and that kind of hardware, like we were looking in Japan, we were looking in United Arab Emirates. They still have them over there. So there were places, and there were two main big car part suppliers that people were talking about, like on Reddit and things that they trust, and that's where they were. So that's where we were looking at possibly having to go. We were looking at eBay, but eBay was actually more expensive for most of that. It's like it was turning into like a $30 or $35 bolt that we were going to need, which is fine if you need that. But well, if you read the post, we didn't end up needing it because we were saved. So you can read about that on my William Tries things if you want to. Hello, Susan. Thanks for joining in. Good to see you here. Oh, Barnaby wants to say hi. You want to say hi to everybody, Barn? There you go. Going to say hi to Cinnamon? Huh? Yeah, that's my buddy. Oh, he's purring so hard. Dennis says, I'm thinking it was something they didn't want to do. Hard to find parts and a lot of work. Yes. Yeah, and I mean, I'm very lucky that my dad is around, and as many of you know, we had a difficult relationship for a while, but we are better, and things are better, and I'm lucky to have him around, and lucky that he is a previous car mechanic or auto body specialist, because he knew what to do, or he had more knowledge to figure out what could be done when things hit a wall, and we hit many walls. Dennis says, I wish I could have stayed longer and chatted on Saturday. The Joey's pizza and salad were good. That's good. I got your email. I have not been able to get through emails today and yesterday. Like, I don't really do emails over the weekend generally. I usually try and give myself a break from email over the weekend, and I have not gotten to emails today. So, but I usually read. I often read the emails, but I don't respond generally on weekends, and sometimes Mondays, Tuesdays, because I'm not in the store. I usually respond to emails when I'm in the store. So just so y'all know. But I did get that, Danette. And yeah, I wish you could have stayed longer. I'm glad we were busy. You came in, and I didn't expect us to be as busy as we were. We've been busy with the sale and people saying goodbye. So if you don't know, Allegory Gallery is leaving Ligonier. And so we are having a moving sale to help us raise some money to move out. And we're moving to our building in Johnstown, and we're super excited about it. We think it's going to be a great thing. It might be hard in the beginning, but we think it's all for a good purpose. And so we are, Barnaby's tail, we are having a moving sale, and it has been busy. What are you doing, Barn? Why are you trying to get comfortable? Oh, I should have fed you before we did the live, huh? You're probably looking for food. Teresa says, I think you can go to a junkyard for parts. Yes, that's in my write-up. we were planning a trip there, but we ended up not having to. So if you want to see why or how we remedied that, read my William Tries Things, right? Not all junkyards are going to have my car. That's the other thing. But luckily we didn't need to go there. So that was a plus. Hello, neighbor Susan. Thank you for joining in. Good to see you here. Everybody's saying hi to Barnaby. Michelle says on her truck, California State Law says it has to be new, not repaired, because it's a safety item and not from eBay. That makes sense. I mean, to some degree, that makes sense. But that's hard sometimes. It's really hard, especially when it's a 30-year-old truck, right? Suzanne says, Cinnamon says hi, sending hearts, 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 Barnaby. Smoky Cat is on my lap, says Susan. I'm so privileged, right? Let's see here. Dennis says, I keep bugging you about the bead mix invoice. Yes, I'm going to talk about that today. I have that bead mix today, that Luxury Bead Blend. Remember, Luxury Bead Blends. Yes, we're going to talk about that today because there are some other people that are probably waiting for that. And we're gonna show you some more. We're going to show you some more. Norma says, Waldo is laying in front of the TV and watching Barnaby's Tale. That's cute. Cheryl says, I didn't know your mom was a biker. Now that's pretty cool. Yes, my mom and dad both had motorcycles when we were growing up. My mom, at one point, being a mom, traded in her motorcycle to get us a four-wheeler when we were young. And then later in life, she picked up riding again. And she used to ride all over. It wasn't until, I can't remember what year it was, but she had an accident. She was going around a curve, and a tractor trailer was starting to cross over the yellow line a little more than she was comfortable with. And so she moved over in her lane, and she hit some gravel when she did that. And the bike went spinning. And luckily, she always wears full gear. So she went spinning, but she ended up breaking her leg. And ever since that, she didn't ride as much. I think she still rode after that. I think she got back on her bike, but she didn't ride as much. And she also developed more arthritis, unfortunately. So it stopped her from riding as much as she wanted to. But she does have a bike. I don't think she's rode it in the last few years, probably. But yeah, she used to ride quite a bit. And she would go out with friends and go riding and cross different states and taking long rides, I believe. I don't know where all she's gone. I know a lot of her riding happened when I was away, when I was in New York. She did a lot of her riding. Andrea says, we use Rock Auto a lot. My 40-ish daughter does most of her auto repairs on her Volvo. Nice. Yeah, the parts that we were able to get came from Rock Auto. But they do not supply the hardware like the bolts and nuts for our car, at least any longer. At least not that one in specific, anyway. Danette says, if I emailed about the bead blend from the other day, do I need to? No, Danette. You only need to email once. And I talked to you about it. It's on my mind. I have it right here. Like I said, we're going to talk about it today. It's on my mind. I already know there are other people also who are probably wondering about it. So, yeah, we're going to talk about that. What else? What else? It's not the end of January yet, y'all. Are you doing bead in the new year still? I have not been able to. I've not shared as many posts about this. So I got to get doing that. But today, we think sequins are awesome. So we asked you to design and show us how you're going to use sequins in your design. So that's today. Yesterday was to create a non-jewelry item using beads. That's pretty fun, right? Trying to think of what you can make. A lot of people do like things like bookmarks. That's like a non-jewelry item. But also people in the past have done paintings and like dioramas and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's a fun one. And then on Saturday was to make a piece inspired by your favorite TV show. Your favorite TV show. So what's your favorite TV show? What'd you make? I'm going to check out the album probably tomorrow or Wednesday, the last day of Beat in the New Year, and go through it a little bit more. Tomorrow is show us how you can add sound to a design. Show us how you can add sound to a design. So that's interesting too. Like, do your beads make do they clang together and make noise? Do you add some bells in there? What do you do? What do you do to add sound to your design? So that is tomorrow's prompt. Vanessa says, oh my gosh, I got the turquoise inspiration kit, the turquoise one of a kind kit, right? The one that I made from previous live sewn. Love it. My paper beads and the paper bead strand, sunshine in a box. Good. Yeah, I think you got that very last turquoise strand. We had a number of those strands. We had them for a year or two, probably at least. But they are such pretty strands. I almost did not make that kit because I almost kept that strand for myself. I'm not a huge turquoise fan, but that's the color of turquoise that I often like the most. It's almost that Sleeping Beauty blue color, and they are lovely vintage strands. But you got the last one. I don't think there's any more. We'll never see them again because they were vintage to begin with, and we bought all that our supplier had of those. So that's good. I'm glad you like that. Please don't forget to like and share this post, this video. We just had about 30 people watching and now we're down to 21. I don't know what happens. People go in and out. But thank you for being here. We've had a lot of incredibly generous things happen lately. Y'all have been, buying during our sale, which is so helpful. We are running a moving sale both in the online store and in the physical store. You can get 25% off almost everything in the online store, and that's with discount code Moving Sale, all one word. You can get 30% off almost everything in the physical store, and that's even if you request things via email. Even if we're shipping them to you, you can't be here, you still get 30% off those things in the physical store. So if you saw something in a video that you liked once upon a time, you can still save. We are carrying that sale still. I don't know if we'll go through to the end of this week. We'll see how long we go. So if there's something you've been eyeing, grab it when you can. Save 25% or 30% off. We are making our way to Johnstown little by little. We have a lot of exciting things coming up, a lot of exciting things happening. We've had some people who want to help us with casting. You know who you are. So we're working on, possibly, if you haven't seen Andrew's post, we're working on some casting equipment and going to be able to cast our own pieces in-house, hopefully. That's the goal. Most of you know we have an Allegory Gallery fine pewter collection. We bought the rights to this collection a while ago, but we've not been able to find casters to make them. While we do still have a lot of inventory currently, we have not been able to create more. So while this may or may not help all with that, this is possibly going to be something that's going to allow us to do some of those pieces in other metals and create a special line of some of those items or those items. It will also allow us to create one-off designs, kind of more interesting things that Andrew comes up with, or we do a limited edition of, or we're looking at 3D printing so that we can print things from not only things Andrew dreams up, but from doing the wax and casting that way, but also printing 3D creations that we can dream up on a CAD system on the computer. And so that should open up the world of better, well, not better, but different kinds of rings and pendants and things that we can kind of design by computer and create. So that is something that we are slowly acquiring and piecing together and deciding what we need and what we don't need. But it's quite an exciting thing. It's something we wanted to do for a long time. And Andrew has had plans to make make various pendants and components in various metals. And we have done a lot of things that have not come to fruition. And there are times that we have spent a lot of money doing this that we have nothing to show for. And we're not able to recoup those losses, unfortunately. So this is something, bringing it in-house, allowing us to do it ourselves, is kind of a game changer and could open up an entirely new, new product lines, entirely new almost division of Allegory Gallery. So we're excited about this, and I got to learn some CAD now, apparently. So it says, I need to get working on the challenges I plan to do. I did try to clean and straighten my craft room a bit, though Friday made quite the mess before it began to look better. That is always the case, isn't it? Hello, Harry. Thanks for joining in. Good to see you here. Suzanne got a lovely box from us on Saturday. So much goodness. Thank you. I love when you all post what you get. Some of you take some, I just need to bring y'all in to take pictures of stuff, because your pictures look so much better sometimes than ours too. and what I can take, I don't know how y'all do it, but we appreciate that, and I'm glad you're sharing what you get. Susan says, Harry, I love your AI work. Yeah, Harry's been working with Adobe AI lately. If you've not seen his things, he's posted on his personal page, on his Oscar Crow business page, I believe, and also in my Triers group on Facebook. And he's doing some amazing things with AI art, and they look really cool. Norma says, I started working on a necklace using polymer clay. Awesome. Love polymer clay. It's really fun, right? Michelle says, what is your car again? It's a Suzuki. Susan says, that's exciting news about casting. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Andrew says, we have tried to get prototypes made, but it was a nightmare. Yes, not a good thing. Michelle says, my husband wanted to know to see if he could help. We're done, so we're good, but thank you. We appreciate it. We have completed the project. The car needs just now to get back to the inspection station to be inspected. We might have to get new tires. That's the other thing. So we're trying to save up for that. But other than that, we are good. So thank you, though. We appreciate that. Let's see here. Andrew says it was before we had the store, actually. Yes. So before we had the store, we actually... we have a business that nobody knows about called Allegory Designs. So before Allegory Gallery came into being, many of you may not even know this, even if you follow us. I don't know if we've ever talked about this very much. We technically registered a business called Allegory Designs. And before we had a physical store, we were going to start an online store called Allegory Designs, where Andrew designed things, and we had things made and cast and had components done, and we were going to create an online business selling metal components. And that was kind of the idea, and we were going to build that out and possibly have a physical store down the road. Well, when we got offered space to start a physical store, we switched gears and we flipped those two and we started the physical store Allegory Gallery first. Allegory Designs just didn't make sense as a store name. So we started Allegory Gallery. So Allegory Designs is still one of those things that is a registered business that we have. And we have never sold anything under that name or done anything under that name, but you never know. Allegory Designs may start to happen. Suzanne says, I cleaned up my room and tripped over the stuff, over the mess, right? Marion says, I'm still in the messy stage of changing my paper crafting space. Yep, I get it. I'm in the messy state now here still too. Except mine isn't getting much work done. Andrew's working on it. He's working on some of his things he has in here, but my area, my personal stuff, I have not worked on very much, which is not great. Andrew says, we never did it because I didn't want to compete with my family. For years, I kind of felt like I was in their shadow. It messed with my head for years. Yeah, we didn't. Allegory Designs, one of the biggest stumbling blocks to that was us believing that we would be competing, and how would we differentiate a line enough that we didn't compete with his family, or people didn't think we were competing with his family, or his family didn't think we were competing with them. Because he kind of got his start by actually helping them in some ways, in most way, actually, that's what he got to start, mostly helping them do shows and then building his own kind of self-brand around some of that stuff. I think for a while he was worried that he was kind of, under them in a way, or like he said, in their shadow. But now that we are our own legitimate thing and we are doing our own thing, and, it's very obvious that we are not the same company. We now that we also own our own pewter line as well, I think it's time for us to not worry about that so much anymore and start doing our own thing and things that we have been dreaming of doing, for more than 12, 13, 14, 15 years. So the casting is coming, and we're super excited by it. I'm really excited. I don't know. We've been watching videos about casting because I don't really know the process that well. I've never been through it myself, but like Andrew kind of has an idea of how it works, a little bit more than me. But we've been watching a lot of YouTube videos with researching every piece of the puzzle that we're putting together, and what we're going to do with it. So that is coming. Susan says, now's your time to shine. That's right. I think so. This is going to allow us to rapidly prototype things. If Andrew can dream something up, either he creates it and then we can get it to a metal component pretty quickly, within, days. I mean, the process does take days to create a piece generally, but that's much faster than, trying to create something, then have someone else do a master of it, then have someone do casting of it. It can take weeks or months for that to happen. So if Andrew wants to create a ring and I learn 3D CAD enough, we can develop a ring with prong setting, ready to go, have it come out, polish it, clean it up a little bit, throw the stone in, and boom, we have a ring made. It sounds fast, and it sounds easy, but it's not going to be that fast or that easy. But it will be a lot faster and easier now that we will be able to have the production in our own hands instead of, relying on other people to maybe or maybe not do that, as the case has been in the past. So we're excited about that. I'm super excited because I've always thought that, it could be fun to do this. So I think this is going to be an interesting thing. I don't relish like the cleanup of everything, because you got to clean up the metal and, all that stuff. But We'll see. I think it's going to be interesting. And like I said, I think it's going to create the possibility of entirely new product lines and things. So we're going to really be able to push a G-Fine pewter and possibly allegory designs and, really make things happen, I think. So Anders is now hiring free interns, right? Want to work for free? Come on down. But yeah, I mean, so we're building that out. We're working on that. We're piecemealing things together. We're trying to do our research on every individual component to make sure it's something that we need, that's something that is going to fit in, and really, do what we need it to do. Because you can go crazy purchasing equipment, right? But if it doesn't fit what your specific purpose is, then it doesn't make sense. So we're trying to evaluate what we're doing with this, what metals we're going to be working in, and what is the best, kind of system to come up with and to put together. We're also researching all different things in that system. So like which 3D printer is the best? It's all those things. Which kiln will be the best? Do we need what burnout is kiln or burnout furnace is the best? Like it's all these things, even within what equipment do we need, right? Suzanne says, "Can I be a long distance intern?" Right? Get you on the Zoom. But this is also something that we're going to be able to, kind of do more videos about and, educate people on. Education for us in 2024 is going to be a major component, I think, of what we do. That's the plan. Education is going to be a big, big component of what Allegory Gallery does in 2024. And we are planning new lines or new series of videos, multiple ones. So it's one of those things that the more that we have access to, the more that you are going to have access to the knowledge of, at least. And depending on the amount that we open up our workshop, it could open up to a lot of other people doing other things too. So, moving to Johnstown, it's going to be a weekend store for the most part, unless it really gets crazy busy, and then we'll open up more days a week. But the plan is that that's going to be on the weekends, and then we are going to be in the studio working for the rest of the week. And we also have plans after the store gets open and we get our feet under us a little bit there. We hope to open the jewelry studio up to people who want to learn, and we can teach there as well. So there's going to be a lot of possibilities, I think, to do a lot of different things with different people. Andrew says there's a lot of folks around here who would do more, they just don't have access. Yes. And that's the thing, is that we are hoping to be able to give access to other people to some of this stuff. And you never know what comes of that. Collaborations or new ideas and, friendships and relationships and community. We see the future, and what the future can be, and it is bright. And I think that is kind of the first time in a long time that I have said that or thought that. For a long time, we were going through the motions and doing what we had to do to survive. And while we are still doing what we have to do to survive, I think, and I especially, because Andrew always sees it, Andrew can see much further than me, but I can finally see that things are coming together. And in ways maybe we didn't expect at first, but ways that I think are going to be very positive and very uplifting for more than just us. You know, the way that we've always envisioned our business being a community of people, a community of makers who are uplifted by each other and, you know, make incredible things. As Andrew said, one of our, you know, it's like the trademark slogan is the rising tide raises all boats. And, you know, as our boat rises, we want everyone's boat to rise too. Andrew says, we're doing it on a budget. Yes. I have an angel investor for things, but we've got to make it stretch. Yes. So, you know, we're not going out and buying the best of the best and the newest of the newest. Andrew's looking for deals. He's making deals with other people. He's bargaining with people, doing things, but we're getting the best that we can at the budget we can and the machinery that we need. Andrew says, we have been blessed to have people believe in us, so we always try to pass that along and share the wealth. Absolutely. You know, yeah. I was getting into a big thing in my head, but that's pretty much says it all. We have been very blessed. You have blessed us out there, all of you who watch us. Many of you watch every day. Just that helps. Sharing what we do, making your purchases, sharing your pictures and your videos of the things you make with other people, and sharing what we do with as many people as you can. It's all helpful. It's all love. And it's all what the, you know, the AG Bead fam stands for, is standing with each other and uplifting one another. So thank you out there, all of you who do that every day with us and for us. Andrew says, I think we are getting the best of the best for what we can afford. Yes, that is the plan. The best of the best for what we can afford. You know, we're getting stuff. When we invest in something, we do our best to invest in things that are long term. There are things that we could go cheap on, and, you know, we could get more things maybe, but that's why we're really narrowing down what we want and what we need, and deciding what the best of that is that we can put in our budget, because we want this stuff to last. We don't need to be in the middle of producing something and have something break down. That's not what we want. So that's that. That's what's going on. That's one of the things going on. The other thing going on today, I spent part of the day, we've talked about, as many of you know, we used to sell art prints of Andrew's work. And we have, if you've noticed, most, if not all of those art prints have left the online store, and we have not offered art prints in a long time. That's because our printer, our big art print printer, which is right over here, with stuff on top of it right now, is jammed. And we've talked about this a little bit. So I spent a large part of today watching various videos and reading various things about ways that we can unjam that printer. I ran it through its cleaning cycles, did not work still, and didn't expect it to, because it's only been longer that ink has been sitting in there. So I finally found someone who had created a homemade cleaning solution for the print head, and I figured out how to get the print head out, and it is now soaking in that homemade solution, we'll see, overnight. And there's a lot of ink that is gummed up in there, because there's a lot of ink that's still coming. I've ran it through. I think one of our problem ones before was cyan. That was definitely one of the problems today. And then our photo black, cyan and photo black, and then yellow started causing a problem today. But those were the main ones that were having problems. And even today, we're still having problems. So I'm focusing on those, trying to get them cleaned out. So it's going to sit in this solution for 24 hours or so. and then we will put it back in the machine once it has time to dry out and see if it's going to work. Marion says, can't hurt to try if it doesn't work anyway. Exactly. Apparently we can get a new print head, maybe. This printer is not being made any longer, and the ones that they have produced after this don't use the same one, but I think we can still get it. You can definitely get it on eBay and things, but they're like $250 somewhere in there. So if I can buy $8 worth of household cleaners and whatnot and make a solution that's going to work, we're going to try that first. So the only other thing that this one person did is they used a water pick, like for your teeth, to spray in there. We don't have one of those. So if this doesn't work completely by itself, or if it seems like it's getting better, but it's not quite there yet, we might get one of those, but that's like $20 or $30 compared to $250, and we'll definitely try that first. But we're hopeful because this person for a living used to do this or does do this, so seems like it should work. And so the idea behind that is we can start producing prints again, very possibly. The other thing we can do with that, possibly, things that are really big right now, apparently, stickers. So I was also watching some YouTube videos today on stickers and how you can make them and sell them using a nice quality laser or inkjet printer, because this has like the archival inks and all that stuff. Not that you need that for stickers, but we have a printer sitting here. Maybe we'll make some stickers. So that's also something that I was looking at. And that's actually what led me into being like, we need to get this cleaned up, because then we could just make some stickers and we can make some prints and we could actually use it. So that is one of those things. So that is what I spent part of today doing too, running to the grocery store to buy household cleaners to mix together to make this solution. Nothing too serious. Andrew says, I do want a Sunstone Pulse Arc Welder 100C. Yeah, we know. I know you do. I know you do. I said, just start with the cheaper one. Start with that cheaper one. But we'll see. We'll see. So that's been what's going on with us. What's going on with all of you out there? What's happening? What's doing? Cindy's asking, where do people share pictures again? You mean in our group? Or a lot of people share our things to their own personal timeline so their friends can see them. If you want to share pictures of things you made, you can share them to your personal timeline also and tag us. If you haven't joined our Facebook group, it's called Allegory Gallery Design Challenges, and you can join that and you can share things you've made there. There's lots of ways to share. You can share on other social media like Instagram and tag us, and that way everyone can see it. Our Facebook group, the Allegory Gallery Design Challenges, is a great group, and you can share in there. It's an open group, so technically anyone can see it, but if you share your things that you make and tag us, that helps everybody. It helps people see your stuff and also helps people know that we are a thing. We are a thing. Lena says you could try a baby bulb syringe, less expensive than a water pick. Yes, that is a thing too. And I think I might have a syringe from my maybe. I don't know if I got one. I might have one from my sublimation setup. I'm not sure, because the way you have to fill the ink. But I think I got special designed ink cartridges anyway. I don't know. Anyway, Sue says maybe you could get William one for his birthday. Give me what, the Pulse Arc welder for me for my birthday? My birthday coming up here in February 24th, in case anybody wants to know. So yeah. So what else? It's been a long few days. It's been a long few days. But all good. One thing I will say, Barb is away. Barb is away. So she's going to be away for over a month. So this means that I will mostly be doing all the shipping for the next month or so. It may also mean that our shipping may slow down a little bit, just so you're aware. I'm going to try to work every day or almost every day after I get out of the store, but that's not always possible. And I cannot put in as much time every day after I've already been at the store and after we do the lives and all that, as Barb puts in on a weekly basis. So things will inevitably slow down a little bit, I'm sure. So I just want to let you all know that, but we are going to do our best to keep up with everything and keep things going. So yeah, that's a big thing that you all should know. Please don't let it make you hesitate from purchasing. Like I said, Andrew, anyway, please don't let it stop you from purchasing, because we will still get things out. I may do more combining, or we may, do things in more batch work than we have been lately. But yeah, that would be good. Andrew says, you're forgetting that you won't have to go in soon. That's true. Kind of. Maybe. But yeah. So we're going to have the store open on weekends in Johnstown, but we have to get the store there first. So not having to go into the store isn't really going to happen until probably Barb gets back, technically, unless we get the store moved quicker than we think. But yeah, I don't think that's going to help while Barb's away. But this will help going forward when Barb has to take time off. Cindy says, Canon doesn't work on their machines, question. They probably do. I do not want to know what that kind of bill is for working on something like this or clearing it out. They're probably just going to tell you to buy a new one. It'd be $240, $250 to buy a new one if they supply it. Our product is way outside of warranty because it's, I don't know when we got this. It's an older printer. We may have gotten it in 2017, 2016, somewhere in there, is my guess. So yeah, they probably do, but I would not want that bill. Lena says, I have 5 milliliter syringes for watercolors. I can mail you some. Thank you. Andrew says, store opening mid-March. Store opening mid-March. Yes, that's the plan, mid-March. We might have a soft opening a little bit before that, to get some friends around and people who already know us and maybe some of the community members. But the official opening we're planning for mid-March. We're going to move the store in February because we got to be out of our space. That's when we told our landlord we'd be out by the end of February. So we have to move the store and then get it arranged and get it ready. So mid-March is probably when we'll open in Johnstown. Cindy says, I see no warranty. Yeah, no warranty. Old printer. Even though we've barely used it technically. I feel like we've had this printer for a long time, and we've barely used it. It's one of those things that I don't know why. It's, getting art sometimes from the actual art to a print that we like. There's a lot that goes into it, and I think it's just been a harder thing to do. It's not been in our workflow, but as we're kind of focusing on different things, and I think it's going to become a bigger part of the workflow. I think stickers of some of Andrew's artwork and some of his things could be fun. He's hearing this for the first time today, by the way, too, about the stickers, but I think it could be a fun thing. We've talked about it a little bit and doing some, kind of sillier things and some of his different creatures and things. So I think it could work out. I think it could be fun. All right. So that's what we've been up to. Hope you've all been great. I don't know what y'all have been up to. I don't see many people writing in the comments what they've been up to. How was your weekends? Was it good? I hope it was good. As you can see, we are not in Tucson. I know a lot of people are in Tucson right now. Um, and we're having fun watching them in Tucson. We wish we could have gone, but it just was not in the cards for us this year. But I think the plans that we are making are kind of more exciting. I love, Tucson is a fun time and it's always good energy out there. But I think we've got really good energy right here and right now. Um, and I think we're building on something that is going to be the foundation of something great to come, honestly. So thank you all for sticking with us. Thank you for being part of the AG Bead fam. We appreciate you, and you're helping us get to great places, and we can't wait to show you all what we have planned. Lena says, I want stickers. They seem to sell well from other artists. Yeah, I think so. I still have to figure out how we make the stickers on that machine, and then I cut them on my Cricut. That's going to be the thing, getting the cutting and that down. I'm not quite sure how that process works, but I know people do it, and I've got to figure that out. Because I don't want to be hand cutting a bunch of stickers, even though some people do that. I don't want to be doing that. Let's see. Marion's shredded a lot of old documents. That's always freeing, right? Are you gonna make paper out of them? That's what I want to do. I have this. I don't know if anyone's ever done it. We always talk about our ideas. I want to create this paper line, and I want to take the bills that we get, and name the paper line by the bills that they're made out of. So like here's the electric bill, and it's going to be the electric bill paper, or the mortgages due paper line. And that's kind of the idea I had going through my head, which I think is just kind of a cute way to name a line. And maybe somebody's already done it, but that's kind of, I wanted to shred some paper up and be like, here's the mortgages due paper line, mortgages due envelopes, and just kind of make it a fun way of, kind of laughing at those things that are really difficult sometimes, right? It's difficult when the mortgage is due some months. I'm the first to admit that. So I think that's kind of just a cute, fun way of dealing with that. Cindy was wondering about us going to Tucson. Yes, we had to bow out of Tucson this year. But we still have connections there, and you may still see, I don't know, you may still see some things. I don't know what Andrew's planning. I know he's been talking to some people, so who knows what may come out of all of that. Amy, peopled too much this weekend. I'm still tired. I understand. I love when people come into the store. Love it, love it, love it. Never going to complain about having a busy store, ever. But I will say that since we've been having our sale and people have been coming in for the sale, it is more people-y than I'm used to on a given day, because some days we have no people come in the store. And so the amount of energy, the jump from like needing no energy to talk to people to needing a lot of energy to talk to people, and then going to fix the car after having used all that energy to talk to people. It's been an interesting time. I've been coming home very, very, very worn out some days. By the way, welcome, Amy. Thanks for joining us. Lena says, I designed a sticker and they cut it out in the machine at the library. That's cool. Yeah, I have to figure out, because we have a Cricut, and technically, I guess you can make cuts on that, right? And so figuring out how, I don't know how you make the wavy line. I just have to figure it out. I think you just have to make a template, and it's always going to be the same sticker printing every time, and then you put it on the thing, and then it should cut them out, maybe. But we'll see. We'll see how that works. Marion says, didn't think of making paper, LOL. Oops. Right? Yeah. Yeah, I gotta make the paper. I'm very interested in it. I just we gotta get through moving the store. That's like blocking everything in my brain right now. Is kind of moving the store is like so much on my brain that once that happens and we're able to be in the studio together and do different things from the studio, then the magic's gonna start happening. I think we're gonna start to create lots of new things. I feel it happening. Andrew says we are still getting stuff from Tucson, right? Still gotta work those connections, even though may need to be shipped and all that, but we're gonna get stuff. We're gonna get stuff for y'all. That's the plan. That's the plan, as long as all goes to plan. Cindy's been making and selling things this last week. Good. Congratulations. Always good to make and sell stuff. So yes, it's going to be, we're going to get some stuff. We're going to get some stuff. And hopefully y'all are going to like it. Anyway, let's look at some bead blends. Let's do it. I don't know if Andrew's cooking now, or that's why he's not up here. He was between cooking and finishing up some. I think I got the last bead blend he was finishing up, maybe. Because you know, we go right up. Plus, I told you there might be some other stuff. You never know. You never know. We might have some other stuff coming up by the end of this video. I don't know. I don't know what he's planning. He mentioned some other things, but that might be for tomorrow's video. We'll see. Or maybe Wednesday's video, or Thursday's video, or never a video. Who knows, right? I don't even know some days. I don't even know some days. Let's flip this camera around here. Also, it just reminded me, because I was going to say you're going to see my bowl down here. Get the cord out of the way. My bowl. I have some new pottery. That's going to be coming out soon. I just got to get the bottom sanded, and then I can send them off to the online store. So I'm going to show you those probably on my William Tries Things page, maybe tomorrow or maybe Wednesday. I think tomorrow is going to be the last post about the car. And then I'll show some new pottery maybe on Wednesday. That's my day to go to pottery class anyway, so I'll be showing that, and maybe on that day. But this is my one bowl. This is the bowl we've kept because it works well to have the bead blends. Now, the thing Danette has been talking about is this bead blend. We showed you this bead blend in a video last week, I believe it was. Maybe at the end of a video. I think Andrew popped a bead blend on there, and some of y'all claimed this video or this bead blend, but I have not sent invoices for it. I don't know how. I've sent invoices for things after these and before these, but somehow these got missed. And this was the one I just told you to claim with the, it didn't have a lot number. It just says claiming the bead blend tonight. So if you did that, you didn't get an invoice yet, so I'm sorry about that. I'm going to go ahead and get that invoice out to you all soon, probably in with this batch. So that'll be that. So if you've been wondering about that, that's why you didn't get invoices yet, because somehow I flagged them in my email. They're still there, but somehow I skipped them entirely when I was sending out invoices. And Danette was asking about it, and that's who brought it up, and that's why I realized it happened. So thank you, Danette, for bringing that up, and we will get this out to you. Yeah. So that's that. So that's that bead blend. I don't know if I'm going to have, I'm probably going to have more of that. I should have made, I need to make lot cards tonight, which is really stupid. I was so busy working right up to the deadline of the live starting on the printer head, the print head that I have, that I didn't make these. So let's call this Luxury, here I go, Bead Blend, LBB. I'm trying to make it dark enough that you can see it. LBB1. LBB1. All right. And these all come in a 2x3 bag. They are $10 for you all. It's going to be $10 for you all tonight. Once they go in the online store, they go up to at least $12. So if you, let's pour it out. Let's just show this one all over again. If you already claimed this the other night, though, you claimed it by saying something like bead blend tonight, or tonight's bead blend. So if you already did that, that's this one. You don't need to do it again. And I will try and verify that if you can't remember, because I think we did not sell out of it yet. So that is what this one looks like. Let me lower this. No, you know what? Let's not lower this. Let's take this up like this. So that is this one. It has all these beautiful things in it. All these beautiful things in it. This is the one that has some of these little leaves in it. It has some of these kind of cobalt blue ones. If you remember me showing these with that this metallic on the beads. There are some glass pearls in here. There are some of these lined beads. Let's see if I can get that to focus. There they are. Sorry, my nails are really dirty also from working on the car. I've been trying to clean them and clean them, but they're still dirty from working on the car. There's some S-word crystal in here, some gemstones, looks like some rose quartz. So it's a really pretty kind of blue, pink, purple mix with some odd things in it here and there. So you'll get a 2x3 bag of these if you request that. There's some of those, let's call them a feather, because if I call them other things, we get banned. So that's that. There's even some pony or I just blanked on the other word for these. Roller beads, check glass roller beads. And so lots of fun stuff in here. And then, of course, lots of these vintage bugle beads in various shapes or various sizes and colors. Mostly that beautiful iridescent kind of multicolor look. So we're going to call this tonight LBB1. But if you already claimed it the other night, you don't have to claim it again. I do have those emails, and I will be sending out invoices for those with this lot tonight. All right. So it's LBB1. If you'd like to claim it, I'll see how many we have. You can see we only have this bag. Once these are sold out, by the way, they don't come back. They use vintage components, various amounts of them too. There's no recipe to these. Andrew works on instinct, and I always say, he works on instinct. He works on years of studying color and form and what goes well together and what we have in stock. And these are not like floor sweepings that some other companies, they sell you a bead blend and it's like what they had laying around and they just throw it together and it's a bead blend. That's why we call ours luxury bead blends. They're not just mixes like some other people call them. These are luxury bead blends. There's a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of knowledge that goes into making each one of these. All right. Now, let me see if I can get these back in the bag. It's going to be a little bit slower because Andrew's working on things downstairs. And I don't have him to just hand this over to and do that. Andrew said there's some good stuff in these. Yeah, there's a lot of good in this one for sure. All right. Let me make up a little paper. And if you didn't see that scrolling across the bottom of your screen, if you'd like to claim any of these, the way to do that is to take down the lot number that I'm giving you, that I'm scratching on this paper right now. Put that in a subject line and an email to info@allegorygallery.com and send it to us. This is LBB2, Luxury Bead Blend 2. This is a nice one. If you like gold, you're going to like the bead blends tonight. Not that they all have gold, but there you are. Andrew says we should have called this Mixapalooza, right? Mixapalooza. Blendapalooza. Can you see that out of the corner of the screen a little bit? Can you see that? Let me seal this up before I end up dumping it everywhere. All right. Look at this one, everybody. Look at this one. So this is a beautiful, these have these bugles, sometimes long, sometimes short, sometimes twisted, in these gold and clear colors. I feel like I need to get the light a little bit closer to me. And I feel like I need to get this a little bit higher so I can have a little bit more room. But look at that luxury right there, everybody. So this has some glass beads in it. You might get some of those. This is an S-word crystal rondelle. You have some of these little metal beads. You have some of these golden beads. Just lovely. There's some other crystal in there. This is LBB2. Sorry, I'm hiding that, aren't I? LBB2. And this is a lot of, these are smaller beads than some of the mixes. Look at that. Look at that S-word crystal. Beautiful thing in square shape. I don't see that very often. I see the round ones more often, but not that shape. So these are, if you like seed beads and you like the smaller beads, this mix has a lot of those in it. And this is a good one. This is a good one if you are working in either silver or gold, or you want to do mixed metals, because there's a little bit of both in here. And these are really, really pretty. So if you'd like to claim this, we have a bag of this available. You get a 2x3 bag for $10. 2x3 bag for $10 of these luxury bead blends. Send us an email with LBB2 in the subject line to info@allegorygallery.com. That's across here. Also, it's all scrolling across the bottom of your screen. And of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to us. If you're out there on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. Check and make sure that you're subscribed to us, because a lot of people think they are, because they're like, of course I subscribe to Allegory Gallery. Why wouldn't I be subscribed to Allegory Gallery? And then they go and look and they realize they were not subscribed to Allegory Gallery. So please make sure you hit the subscribe button and check it out. Now don't hit it twice because you unsubscribe. We don't want that. But do check to make sure. Because we've heard that time and time again. I thought I was subscribed, but I'm not. Lena says, Sun on Show. Right? Isn't that brilliant? It's a beautiful mix. If I had it in a different bowl, it would probably stand out a little better, because it's blending in with the color of the bowl a little bit, but I think you can see how beautiful it is. Vanessa says, I find that blends not from you are the leftovers that have fallen out of the bigger bags during shipping. That's often what they are. That's often what other companies do. Sometimes they call them floor sweepings. At least behind the scenes, they call them floor sweepings. They don't generally tell the customer that, but that's kind of what it is. That's not what we do. For one, we don't bring in huge quantities of beads that we could make mixes like this out of floor sweepings. And we also put the good stuff in here. Like I said, there's S-word crystal in here. There's a lot of good stuff, vintage components in here, stuff that we could easily, like, you don't think we could sell strands of these if we wanted to? We could easily, but we put them in the bead blends for you. This is one that's going to be tricky, especially since I raised the camera a little bit. Let me roll this back down so I get my hand over the camera. Talk amongst yourselves while I get this back in the bag. And try not to make a mess. This one's not cooperating so much. There we go. You gotta get the bag just right, where you have this knowledge in the back of your mind that it's gonna go all over the place. Right? There, I only lost 2 beads out of that one. Yeah, no floor sweeping mixes here, y'all. You get the real deal with us. Let's see what's next. I think I want to do. They're all so nice, but I want to save my favorite for the end. So I'm gonna say that one. I don't know. Maybe this one. They're all so nice. Let's just do this one. Amy says, do you have some paper to make a funnel? Nothing thick enough that's gonna do that, unfortunately. It would help if I didn't pour so much out at once, but I'm also trying to make sure I fill this up so you all can see well. All right. Let me see here. Forgot to make the Luxury Bead. My terrible handwriting, especially when I have to go over things like 3 times, 8 times, 10 times. Luxury Bead Blend 3. Talk about handmade here. Suzanne says, my Luxury Bead Blend in golden yellow vintage lucite is so good. Good. Luxury Bead Blend 3 is this beautiful combination of deep purples and deep greens. Do you work with those colors together? Now you can, right? Play around with them, mix them up. This is one of my favorites. These are all my favorites. I don't know. Andrew's like, he had a purple one. He's like, should I add a color to it? Should I? And I'm like, what color were you going to add to it? Because I like purple. He's like, green. I'm like, do it. Do it, do it. And he did it. So let me bring some of this up so you can see all the different things that you might get in your bag, your 2x3 bag. There's amethyst in there. There's lots and lots of seed beads in these. These are seed bead heavy in these ones. Sometimes the mixes are, more seed bead heavy than other times. These ones tonight, many of them are more seed bead heavy than we've seen here recently, but I think that's good for all of you who like the seed beads. I don't think there's anything wrong with that because they are all beautiful vintage goodness. It's all beautiful vintage goodness. Look at these see these flowers? Amy calls this fairy foresty, right? Fairy foresty. I like that. Got the amethyst chunks in here. I got a big amethyst chunk. These glass. You got some of the crystal here. Suzanne says, ordered. Thank you so much. Yeah, look at that. I'm trying to get this to focus. Look at that crystal. Get that in there. Get some of these little cracked glass beads. Amethyst again. Just get those flowers. I'll show you those flowers. Check glass flowers. And of course, you have the bugle beads. Vintage bugle. Norma says, love purple and green, right? Check that out. Cindy says, these are $12.50. No, these are $10, Cindy. $10 per bag, 2x3 bag. They will go to $12 at least in the online store. But if you order them tonight during the live by sending the email, you get $2 off. And when these do go into the online store, they will not be part of the sale. Just so you know, you will not be able to save the 25% off. They're too new of a product line for us to put a sale on them. But you can get them for $10 right now if you order through email. Marianne says, also ordered. Thank you so much. Andrew said, I thought of Suzanne when I made this. Right? Those are some good colors right now, right? Cheryl says, this is an expensive bead week. That happens. Some weeks are more expensive than others, right? It happens to us too. Look at these glowy little, almost opalite kind of glowy seed beads in there. Just all comes together so well. Susan says, I see dragons in that purple and green mix, right? And by the way, Andrew's Dragon Collages, Here Be Dragons, that series is still in the online store. We've uploaded all that we've shown so far, and they are available for you to purchase there. And they do come with the sale discount possible. So if you haven't grabbed yours yet, the discount brings them down to $25.50 per original piece, and you can get them in the online store right now. So get those dragons. They're all named for y'all now, and you can pick those up in the online store. You know, the Year of the Dragon, it's supposed to symbolize prosperity. And, you know, Andrew thinks of dragons as being protectors. And we hope that, you know, the dragon collages bring both protection and prosperity to all of you out there who want one. Vanessa says, I just want to run my hands through those. I know, I sit here and do that. That's what I do for most of these lives whenever I'm showing them. Because it's fun. It's a lot of fun to do that. So that was LBB3. LBB3. And remember, if you want more than one bag of them, when you send the email, say LBB3 times 2, for example, in the subject line. And we'll make sure you get the number you want. As much as we can, anyway. I really should have computerized these before, but like I said, I was dealing with the printer until then. You know, handmade's fine, right? That's what we're all about. LBB4. Vanessa says, if I worked there, you would be like, Vanessa's playing in the beads again. That's what we do. That's what we do all day. We play in the beads, right? Now, who loves gold? Dragons love gold. Who loves gold? Who doesn't love gold? I used to not like gold, but that was crazy talk. It has grown on me over the years a lot, and especially this kind of glowy gold gorgeousness in this kind of citrine and gold beautiful color. So, and this is until he met me, right? So look at some of these things you might get in this mix. And I say might because we take this big bag and we pour it and we separate it into smaller bags. We always do it in half and half, for example. So we do it, we scoop the bags and we put half of the mix in and fill the bags up to half, and we come through and do the later half because the smaller things fall to the bottom of the bag, right? And so if we just filled up all the bags, some people would get a lot of the big stuff, and then some people would get a lot of the little stuff. So we go through and we do it half and half all the way through to make sure you all get a nice blend of both the larger items in the mix, but also all these little things that fall to the bottom. Suzanne says, would LBB3 and LBB4 go together? You better believe it, Suzanne. Look at those together. Look at those together. That's, you know, because there's already, like you can see, like these little pieces of checked glass in here that have that little hint of that golden goodness in there. And some of this AB stuff in here flashes with that golden goodness. So you could easily mix LBB3 and LBB4. And as Lena says, Mardi Gras, right? How about that? Amy says, nice warm amber gold. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. This is a beautiful blend. Beautiful blend. Cheryl says that's screaming carnelian. You can definitely add carnelian to this. It would be beautiful together. Lorraine is here. Says, sorry I'm late. That's all right, Lorraine. Thanks for joining us. Andrew says, Mardi Gras colors. Let the good times roll. Laissez les bon temps rouler, right? Laissez les bon temps rouler. I say it more like French, not more like Creole French, but you get the point. Look at this. Look at these fun beads. These are, look, just fun vintage check glass in here. Lots of good things. You got the kind of metallic gold seed beads. Aren't those nice? Those are nothing to scoff at for sure. Right? Those are some... What's going on? Somebody's talking to me. Look at that. Somebody's going to get one of those at least. Check that out. Aren't those fun? So I think this is a beautiful mix. LBB4. If you want to claim any of those, you can do that in email. Just send us an email to info@allegorygallery.com saying LBB4, and we'll be happy to help you out with those. All right. And I see some of you out there are claiming. I just opened my email now, so thank you so much. This is really, let me just show you one more time before I put it away. How about that? Stunning, 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 stunning. All right. Like toffee, says Susan, right? That's that good toffee. That's that good toffee. That's a good sound, isn't it? That's a good sound. All right, and maybe the last of the evening. I'm not sure. I know Andrew's working on. I don't know what he's gonna. If he's working on dinner or if he's working on getting me something else before the end of this video. I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. But I'm picking out these. I want to make sure I get all these little sea beads back in here. Avalanche of beads, says Suzanne. Andrew says, no, there's more. So there's going to be more coming, everybody. This is not the last one. Vanessa says, I mostly wore silver for a while, but for some reason, I go with silver in the summer and more gold, coppery, brass in the winter. Not sure why. You want those warm colors in the winter, right? It makes you feel warmer. I think that's a true thing. I think that's a thing that happens. Oh my goodness. There's like double more. There's like double more. Okay, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4 more. Okay. Whew, let me take a drink. Even I didn't know I'd be going this much longer. Okay, that was LBB4. LBB5. Now this, I think this is still, I don't know. There's some more nice ones that came up. This was my favorite up until that point because it's gold and green. Check that one out, everybody. LBB5. It's got the gold and the green. And it's that warm gold, right? Beautiful, sunshiny. That's like a summer day right there. Sunshine and green plants, green grass, green leaves. LBB5. Sorry, my sign's bending. LBB5. So it's got some of these in various colors. It's got some of these. These are all different shapes of this glass. Look at that one. That's fun. It's fun. It's got some crystal beads in there. Some larger ones in there. Check this one out. Whoops. Just fun. Look at these fun shapes. Look at these fun shapes. Aren't those cool? You got that one, you got that one. Those. Look at those. So you got some of those larger ones, and then we dig down to the bottom. You're going to see beautiful seed beads of all different kinds. You got like the opaque, you got some transparent. Looks like you got some silver cord ones in there. Bugles in there, and then beautiful green color. Such a beautiful, beautiful mix. So Luxury Bead Blend number 5 for tonight. LBB5 is the SKU. If you'd like to send that to us, that's the lot number. Send it to us in an email at info@allegorygallery.com. A few people have been grabbing this one already. Andrew said there's a spring green, teal, topaz, gold, amber, and smoky topaz. Look at that. Stunning. I love it. I hope you do too. Sally says, I see LBB5 as a cha-cha bracelet. You can make a cha-cha bracelet with that. Summer sans humidity, says Susan, right? Absolutely. 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 What's this?
To pour it into the bag easier.
Oh, I think I'm okay. Thank you, though. Maybe I'll need that. Look, my screen went yellow. Must be that time of night. There we go. Yep, 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock here, my screen goes yellow. I'm like, that's an extra golden mix right there.
Lula has aimed herself so she can watch you.
Where is she at? Oh, there's my little girl.
She kept stealing stuff from the mixers.
Yeah, she's been stealing stuff from the mixes all day.
Not all the mixes, though. Just certain ones.
She loved this one right here. I think it was this one.
The crystal copper one?
Oh, it was this one.
No.
Oh, it was this one?
No, the crystal copper.
Oh, that hasn't come up yet. Well, let's take a look at it.
That was her favorite.
Yeah, she kept stealing individual crystals. Individual crystals.
She liked warmer color. She stole that sand vintage CD that brick red.
Mm-hmm.
She keeps stealing it.
Right.
And the crystal copper.
Dinesh says, how can you tell the difference between S-word crystal and other crystal? We can tell the difference because we know where we bought them and where they came from. Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference if you just see a crystal and don't know for sure. But we know.
There are certain cuts and stuff you can tell. Like, not all of it has been knocked off. And
well,
then,
they do certain colors too.
Yeah. And they've done some of the colors for a long time. So if you've had any dealing with it, then you know.
What makes S-Word crystal so special? Branding, and they spent a lot of research doing faceting to make crystals sparkly.
Yeah, they were one of the first. Well, actually, not one of the first. They were, well, kind of. Daniel Swarovski started it. I mean, that's his name.
Yeah, that's his
That's
name.
his name. I can't not say his name. Daniel S-Word
Daniel S-Word
started the company like 100 and something years ago. And I think they used water to cut their crystals. Because previously there were tin cut crystals, which kind of make a more irregular finish. They're not as shiny, I guess. Which I love tin cut crystal. If you can find that, you can sometimes find it in like antique shops. So sometimes when I go to like a thrift store or a flea market, I will keep an eye out for them, and because they're really cool. And so, anyways, at some point they had to get rid of putting lead in their crystals, so they're not as sparkly in the glass itself, but they use computers now to generate different facets to make them sparkly.
Mm-hmm. So it's that along with branding that has made them what they are and desired, and I mean they're used by major fashion houses, and it's a whole thing. They had a home product line, and
now it's no more home product, kind of, maybe. So there's a lot of scandal. So over the pandemic, they got rid of their DIY sector.
mm-hmm.
And so that's why we say S-Word crystal instead of the name, because they only partner with exclusive designers to use their work. They're trying to move into the luxury realm.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't want to deal with us little folk anymore.
Well, yeah, and I think they want their name to stand with the big designers rather than small designers right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a different market.
Yep.
At one point, the bead business was a several multi-billion-dollar industry a year.
So it's worth getting into.
Yeah, and then with a lot of the stores closing and
Mm-hmm.
and things changing.
Yeah, if you're you can, in some ways it dilutes their brand now instead of enhancing it, I guess is what they figure anyway.
At least some of them. So there was one dude who was like the controlling voice, and he decided on this, and so there was a lot of issues.
Yeah.
Now there is a rumor that they're still manufacturing to the DIY sector, but they changed the name.
That's what Amy said. It's been rebranded but still available under another name.
However, I talked to my sources because I used to work for S-Word as a freelancer, and I won a bunch of their competitions. I don't know if y'all knew that or not, but so I asked them, and they said contractually they're not allowed to say. So, but they still have jobs, so I'm assuming
right.
that they're doing something.
Yeah. Amy said other non-S-Word brands have uneven edges or thicknesses, and rounds may not be round in color, etc. That can be true, but many of the brands are also upping their game too.
Like Preciosa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and that's
Preciosa.
What Suzanne said. Lucerna and Preciosa are good quality.
Well, Preciosa bought up a lot of the stuff after they closed, and a lot of the people who used to work for S-Word moved over to Preciosa. And then S-Word actually used to buy stuff from Preciosa and sell it as their own. So,
who knew?
The people who probably shouldn't have told nothing, but now everybody knows.
So this gold blend is a little different than the other gold blend because this has more coppery colors to it. rather
There's
than
a lot
the
of
bright
gold
gold.
tonight, but I try to change it. So some of it is like a crystalline gold, and some of it, like this one, is I call this the crystal copper because it's way more crystal copper.
Crystal copper. And Tallulah kept pulling individual crystals from crystal copper and putting them in her little collection. She literally put her little paw in there, would fish an individual one out, carry it over to her collection, drop it down, and then go get another one.
She likes, there's a gold corrugated bead. She keeps stealing those too. And then a lot from the crystal copper.
Hello, Khalidi. Thanks for joining in.
Oh, and hello, everyone.
Andrew's here now. Susan says, I've heard that too about the rebranding. Marianne says, T-Cat has good taste. Yes, she does.
She's a thief.
She is a little thief. Little thief.
So what you doing stealing from your family?
She's a mini dragon, says Amy.
Correct.
Yes, she gets that honestly.
And a mess maker. She makes the biggest mess of all the cats and all creation of all time. And then today they also busted. I got this art print. It's called The Empress of Cats. And well, for one, I thought it was a much smaller print than it actually turned out to be. But they went and they.
It came nice and framed.
It was professionally framed by a professional framer. And then I won it in an auction, so I got a good deal on it. But they knocked it down on the floor, and now the glass
broke. Yep.
I think we can just get a new piece of glass, maybe, but
should be able to. The mat seemed fine. Didn't cut into anything, thankfully. Look at these little flowers.
Those little vintage plastic.
Vintage plastic flower beads. Lennis says, last night Max stole my vintage beaded wire flowers out of my mini vase magnet on the fridge door.
How'd he get it?
How did they get anything?
I don't know.
Ours can open doors. I know.
William sometimes will stack the dishes where the sinks, because we have a double sink, and so where it's at like that T section. But I've caught her up on the counter trying to mess around with the sink, so I don't do that anymore because otherwise we're gonna have to get some new dishes.
So you were saying about this mix?
That it's inspired by that painting irises. Van Gogh.
There you go. This is LBB7. LBB7 has lots of the gold and some of that white, that opaque white with the blues and the green flowers.
Yeah, the base of this is different than that. It looks similar, so that's a tricky thing. So the other one is mostly like silver lined gold with clear silver lined
Talking about this one?
Yeah. So that mix is mostly like gold, clear, and silver. And this one is like gold, but it's got more.
It's got the opaque.
More white. Of the AB white.
Mm-hmm. Like opalite, white. Yeah.
So it's a little bit different. I mean, it's similar.
They'd mix well together if you wanted to.
I mean, I wouldn't because that has more. The silver, I think, makes that other one different. This one doesn't have any silver. So, I mean, they could go together, but and this one has like pops of blue. You see those blue beads?
Lots of blue beads.
The cobalt. So that it does match with the flowers. And there's a little bit of green crystal in there, and there's a little bit of some silver lined spring green color.
Amy says beachy gold.
So it's a little bit different. And that's a harder one because a lot of the little stuff likes to separate to the bottom, and the big stuff like really goes through.
Yeah.
So when we're bagging those up, we'll have to.
Like there's what it should more look like as it's mixed, but you can see what we're talking about. The big stuff floats on the top, and then the little stuff sinks to the bottom. So we always have to separate these in half and half portions.
Yeah, I like it. I think that I could have probably made it less gold and white, and more on the color. But maybe show them in the bag first so that they get that kind of. Do you like that to see it in the bag? Or no? Do they not like it?
I don't know. See what they say.
I've been working all weekend on these for y'all.
LBB8. Suzanne says, not really.
Not to see it in the bag.
Yeah, the bag has a reflection sometimes. It doesn't really show stuff.
I like both.
Marianne says, I like it both ways. Norma says, yes.
When
my old bead store would have blends that we could dig through and pick the beads we wanted. It was like seashell hunting, says Cindy.
No way. Well, you know, because I had people who sat in the. All right, story time, y'all. So when we first opened the store, we put this treasure box, and it's kind of like that. It was more like the floor sweeping kind of stuff.
It was intended for kids mostly.
Well, and then if you needed
or true
like
beginners,
random,
or yeah.
Like every once in a while, you need one random bead, and you don't need to have, But and also like when I would break a strand.
This is like a beautiful spring mix here.
When I would break a strand or something, I would throw it in there. But there was this lady who came in, and so first of all, she started licking the beads, and I was a little bit horrified. I was like, what? And she was like, well, I'm testing to see if it's real. And I was like,
real what?
I mean, that is a test.
But real what?
It or not. But there is a thing like you can test opals by sticking your tongue on them, and if they're from a certain area, it sticks to your tongue.
Lena says, you lick it, you buy it.
Correct. And she's too quick, so some of those beads got mixed back in. I mean, this is 12 odd years ago, so it's not like y'all gonna get any of them licked beads. But then, so for one, she started running her hands through stuff, and I know the temptation to do that, but sometimes beads break, and I want to clean up blood. So I said, I made this list in my mind, and if you've been to the store, you may have seen the list.
It's still there.
And so you can't dig, because also that same lady was there for 8 hours.
Yeah, so what it is it's a big bowl full of beads like this, a mix of all different things, and you're supposed to take a spoon and fill a 2x3 bag, and it's $5 for the bag.
And you can aim your scoop.
You can aim your scoop, but you are not supposed to pick out individual beads.
Because for one, then all the good stuff, because there's good stuff that's kind of sprinkled in.
Yeah, like Andrew said, if he breaks a strand of something good, sometimes he just threw it in the bead mix or in the treasure box.
But yeah, so we don't let people pick anymore.
No. Danette says, I did see that the first time I came to the store.
And y'all thought it was like being funny or something, right? Nah. You know the things that we've seen in this store? I once had to help a customer. They ran through tar on the road, and apparently their tire got coated in this tar substance, and I had to go out there and pry it off and cut it with my scissors because she was having a meltdown.
I think this may be one of my favorite mixes of the night. Purple, green, gold with that citrine color, a little bit of blue thrown in. That's
An Easter color.
spring. That's getting ready for spring. Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm fixated on it. You know, I was driving the other day, and I hope y'all are okay because it was flooding like crazy.
Yeah, it was very wet around here.
You know that Point Park over in Pittsburgh? It's underwater.
I believe it.
But I went over, you know, Kingston Dam. You know where that weird thing is where people drive their own direction all the time? Over where I turned to go to Pittsburgh.
Anyway, what?
You know where there's that dam?
I don't.
Anyways, there's a little bit of crystal water usually. I mean, there's enough to Loyal Hannah. But when I was driving, it was watching. So between all the snow melt and it's crazy. I'm gonna have to pick some. So that was it was neat, but it was also scary.
So that was LBB8 if you'd like to get that one. Remember, you are saving $2 by purchasing them here tonight when they go online. Well, you got until the end of tonight to claim these, and then tomorrow they will go in the online store, or anyway, the price goes up to $12.
Well, if y'all know, some of them S-word crystals are 25 cents a piece, so
at least. Dennis says Kingston Dam was very high and swift on Saturday.
It was crazy.
Fran is here, says, hi everyone, that is a gorgeous mix. Thank you so much. Lena says, I picked out those black resin bead caps out of a mix bowl at AG. I did it. She's in there picking.
I thought you were painting.
There's a shop that has a sign about strands in the check glass section. Oh, because Danette was saying about how she giggled that read the signs about the strands of beads that are not bracelets. Surprise! These are not bracelets.
I cannot tell you how many times. Okay, so we should make like an ism of what people say when they come in the store. One of them is, oh, this is not candy. Usually it's the dad joke.
Yeah.
Usually is, I was going to say like, usually it's a gentleman of a certain age.
Be careful, we're getting to that age.
I know, we are that age. But it's totally a dad joke. And then they'll like pose it like they're gonna bite it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, I thought this is candy.
Like we've never seen that one before.
Every day, pretty much. And then we got the other one is people try to stick it on their hand.
What kind of, whose wrist would this fit on?
And no matter how many times you tell it. And then sometimes they think you're lying. And they try to like sneak it. And it's like, I can see you.
Yeah.
And then some of them they like bust the bead strands and then like try to hide it.
So you mean this? You can't wear this? No.
You make it.
You make it into something else. And no matter how many times you tell them that plastic that it's strung on is not meant to be used for jewelry. You mean I can't just tie this in a knot?
No, no.
No, you
I mean,
cannot.
like you can, but you know what? It's gonna last for about 10 minutes.
Right.
And then
It's like, do you really want to wear that plastic around? Like, have you ever looked at any of your jewelry?
I mean, there's a certain there's stretch cord that's
Yeah.
real
Oops,
good.
I didn't make a sign for this one yet.
And it's real sturdy. But you know what? That's not that.
No.
That's the one that if you look at it sideways, it could break.
This is LBB9, everyone. I'm making the sign now. This is the last one of the evening. Andrew left us off a 9.
I thought there was 10, but I can't count.
LBB9. This is all a beautiful white crystal silver color AB. Beautifulness. This is winter right here. We're still in winter, everybody.
This out with this one, in with the other one.
Right?
No, this is silver and clear.
Yeah, with some of that beautiful AB going on.
Y'all know I have a deep and abiding passion for AB. If you could AB your body and not get some kind of weird something happen, I would do that.
Andrew would be golden AB.
Did I ever tell you about the time I got my ass beat pretty hard? So I got I don't know what I was thinking, but I wanted to be shiny like a diamond. So I painted myself with shellac.
Oh my word.
My dad freaked out. And
for one, you used all his shellac.
And number 2,
you're poisoning yourself.
And I was like, look how shiny I am. And my parents were not amused. I also put an entire thing of Vaseline in my hair.
Oh.
So not only did I make myself water resistant, but it made it real hard. They were like, how do we get this off?
Without, especially not putting it down the drain and not... you probably got hosed off.
There was a bucket and a hose.
I was going to say, you got hosed off of that one.
But also a whole lot of, what you call that? Nail polish remover. I mean, I'm sure I got some exposure to carcinogens.
Yeah, I bet.
Involved with that.
Marianne's is not too short's winter this week. I know, right? They keep going back and forth, back and forth.
This morning.
It snowed this morning here.
I am allergic to snow. I don't think, whoever said that's not real, obviously has not been around me when it starts snowing.
Susan says, love me some bling. Fran says, the blingier the better. Cindy loves AB too. Fran loves AB.
And there's a lot of S word in here, y'all.
Amy says, did you douse yourself in turpentine?
I'm sure there was a mixture of chemicals that were included. They probably made some kind of hydrochloric acid mixing all this stuff up.
All right, y'all. So if you were waiting till the end to see which ones you want to pick from tonight, these are the 9 tonight. Remember, number 1 was from the other night, so if you already claimed it, you don't have to. But these are the 9 from tonight. So technically, he did make 8, an even number. I just included that one again.
This one, the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Mm-hmm.
Tilda, my favorite.
Your favorite? How can she not be your favorite?
I know. She's like the best.
She's the best in everything.
I know. She can play old 18-man and androgynous angel.
Right.
Talk about versatility.
And a winter queen, an ice queen.
The White Witch.
White Witch.
Yeah, I would root for her team, except then, you know what? Then it's winter forever.
Right.
But she did have good snacks, so...
Her sweeties.
This is You know that line where they're like, he betrayed you for sweeties. That's like, I should get a tattoo.
He's like, I would do it.
I was like, and some people don't like Turkish delight, but you know what? I do. One time I got this, okay, let me tell you a trauma story. So I love any kind of like fruit gummy type dessert, basically. And
Yes,
so there's this thing called apple cole.
Applet and cutlet.
I'm saying the
I don't know, actually.
apple cole.
It might be.
I don't know. But it's like apples and pears. Isn't that what that means? I don't know. Anyways, it's this bougie company that makes this fruit candy. And you can buy them usually like at Christmas time. And sometimes they put nuts in them. Sometimes it's just the fruit jellies. So we went to this party. And so I gave this one. I was going to keep it. I bought this for myself. But then I was like, they'll like this. This is a fancy treat. This is a nice gift. Because those things are not cheap. And the person who got it was like, are you regifting this from somebody? And I was like, no, and I will take it back.
I know. I was like,
that's when I was like, note to self, no gifts for you.
That was the end of the gifts.
I said, nah.
Danette says, Andrew, your stories make me giggle at times. It's just the way you tell them. And I love how you say hello, but wait, there's more. Lena says, like Turkish delight.
I mean, I've had gross ones. I'm not going to lie. I've had stuff that I was like, who chewed this up and spit it back out? Because that's what it tasted like. I was like,
Cindy says, Russell Stover's my grandmother loved that jelly kind of dessert.
They're good.
William
I try to make this from scratch. It takes 8 hours. And you can't take a break because this sugar is scorched.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta stir that for 8 hours.
Marion says William is right on how to pronounce applets and cutlets.
Oh, it's not apple cole.
No, applets and cutlets. Cheryl says Andrew's just warming up. He's getting ready to go, and we're getting ready to go because we need to eat. We need to make some dinner. And Barnaby needs to eat. That's why he's back. He's like, it's the end. He's like the camera turned back around. It's time to go. It's time to eat. So thank you all for tuning in with us and listening to all of our plans and all of the things that we have going on. If you missed all that in the beginning, I know sometimes the beginnings are like, maybe you don't rewatch them. I don't know. When you rewatch our stuff, do you watch the beginnings? You fast forward to what the stuff. I don't know. But we talked a lot about our plans and what's happening and what we're doing. In the beginning,
fancy, y'all.
We're going to be so fancy. So there's going to be so much stuff coming out this year.
You're going to puke. You're going to be so happy.
Bright horizons, everybody. So Danette says, I watch from the beginning when I rewatch. Thank you. So thank you all so much for tuning in. We're going to go make some food.
I like the beginning the best sometimes.
I know. Because I actually like that part of like when we're showing you things, we have to do that to make money, but it's like for me, not the most exciting. Like I like to just chat with y'all.
Y'all know I do. I'm like, what you eating?
Yeah.
What you reading?
That's actually the more fun part for us, and then we have to actually do the work.
Otherwise, it's just me sitting by myself and with the cats and me talking for the cats.
If we were just rich already, we'd just come on here and chat with y'all and then be like, okay, we hung out now. Let's go now. Done now. But we have to sell some stuff too.
I like to put things out in the world though.
Yeah.
So I would just have somebody else do that.
He's like, now handing it, which is why I'm on camera most of the time, as you can see. Although you got a lot of people watching when you were on camera the other day too.
Probably they wanted to see how many zits they could count. They don't connect the dots.
Marion says chat is usually the best part. I like that part too.
Well, I also like to learn about y'all.
Oops.
So
Sorry, Gilly. Boy, that's a rude awakening. Thank you.
I want to learn about y'all.
Yes.
So sometimes it doesn't leave a lot in the conversation when we when we just showing stuff. Be like, oh, look at that blue.
Yeah. Phil just knocked over a dining room chair, says Susan. See? Cinnamon likes the Barnaby part, says Suzanne. See, Barnaby? See?
Not the
Gilbert.
part.
Gilbert.
He says he's ace. He's not interested in that.
He's ace.
He's not. He's like, you tell him my business on
I
the
know.
internet.
He's
He
looking
just
at
looked
you.
at me.
So, all right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Y'all have a wonderful evening. We'll be back probably tomorrow. We're trying to do these every day again. Sometimes we don't get there. We got a lot going on.
With the car thing, that was nightmare.
Between the car and the move and the death and the burning down, it's been rough. So thank you all for hanging in there with us, and we'll probably be back tomorrow. Have a great one, everybody.
See ya.
Bye now.